Just imagine in 2008, verging on 2009, the scandal or the notoriety that would be generated by a 19-year-old who is already married, already a father, a military man from a wealthy family. If that individual would take a large portion of his family's fortune and flee the country for another, that would probably generate a little bit of press play in our modern media machine. So imagine in 1777, the notoriety that would have generated when this individual right here did that very thing. This is Marquis De Lafayette, and I'll backtrack just momentarily. It was actually in late 1776. He was dining with the brother of the King of England, the Duke of Gloucester, when he learned of the colony's declaration of independence. He was a young French military man, and he, like many of his contemporaries, was a libertarian. He believed in rights for all men, so he decided he wanted to do something about this call for independence across the Atlantic. So in 1777, he took the equivalent of $250,000 of his family's fortune, which was an enormous sum of money in those days. Not that it's chump change now. And he chartered a ship and set sail for the colonies. He eventually, in June of 1777, landed in South Carolina. Over the course of the next month, he made his way north to Philadelphia, where he requested and was granted an audience with the Continental Congress. When he met with the Congress, he volunteered his services as a military man at his own expense to join the Continental Army, and the Continental Congress was, at least then, a wise body, and they said, well, we'd be kind of silly to turn you down if you want to do this at your own expense. So come on board, and they made him a Major General in the Continental Army. So now we know a little bit about Marquis de Lafayette, but it was actually a couple of years later, in 1780, that he made his true mark on our nation's history. On the Hampton Roads Peninsula, which is about 2.5 hours south of here, near the cities of Williamsburg and Yorktown, this man and his forces took a stand, and they prevented the retreat of Britain's Lord Cornwallis into the Carolinas to fight another day. They held off the retreat for such a time that French General Rochambeau and American General Washington brought additional forces to bear against Cornwallis and his forces at the battle at Yorktown, and Cornwallis ultimately surrendered. And some historians contend that really kind of marked the beginning of the end of the Revolutionary War